We obviously gotta end the year off with a kaboom with Jennifer Lopez and how Jay-Z's lawyer potentially just messed things up for this girl. Before we get into how our girl from the alleged block got into this mess, let's give you new viewers out here the rundown as to why Jay-Z is in some hot water right now. We gotta travel back all the way to the year 2000, where supposedly Jay-Z along with Sean Combs had both been a part of some adult things with another person that wasn't of age. This information came out recently this month, where a woman who was going with the anonymous name Jane Doe claims that both of these artists had taken advantage of her at Sean Combs' after party for the MTV Music Awards ceremony. Jane Doe stated that a friend of hers had dropped her off at the ceremony at Radio City Hall, but she apparently didn't have a ticket to enter the venue and really wanted to go to the party that was being held after. A driver she had approached for information, who stated they worked for Sean Combs, said that she quote-unquote fit what Diddy was looking for, and received an invite from the driver to go over when the show was done. As they made their way over, Doe describes the house as being white, and was told to sign a non-disclosure agreement before she was allowed to enter the establishment. When she finally entered the house, she witnessed other celebrities partaking in illicit actions and was offered a drink, to which she stated she started to feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down. Jane Doe states that she had found a room to rest in, but that's when Diddy, Jay-Z, along with an unnamed female celebrity, came in with Diddy allegedly proclaiming, "You are ready to party." I'm sure you guys can use your brains to figure out what happened next. Jane Doe managed to escape though by going in for Sean Combs' neck before grabbing her clothes and running out the front door. But some more recent information on this alleged night came out not too long ago. Jane Doe has come forward stating she has made mistakes in her original story. Not one, not two, but three inconsistencies. The first one being about her father, who was allegedly there to pick her up from the party after the incident, but he claims that he had no memory of doing so. Jane Doe, however, stands on the fact that her father did come, but he apparently has a hard time remembering certain things. But now I'm triple confused because the other sources were stating that she ran until she saw a gas station and then called her father there. Jane Doe states, "There are a lot of things, and this is stuff that we argue about constantly. Something he said or did back in New York around the time period he just doesn't remember. It actually causes a lot of fights sometimes in the household." The other inconsistency is that she had spoken to musician Benji Madden at the party, but his representative was quick to jump on that and say, no, he and his brother were on a tour halfway across the US during that time. Not an actual quote, just me speaking. The final inconsistency was that whatever photos she brought forward or claimed to have been of Jay-Z and Diddy at the party did not match her original descriptions for that particular night. Jane Doe ties it together with, "Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me and the route that I took to what happened to me. Not all the faces there are as clear, so I have made some mistakes. I may have made a mistake in identifying." I'm just saying, these are very important details that you are messing up. Not saying Jay-Z is out of the hot water yet, but just, you know. Now you have Jay-Z's lawyer on your butt trying to now expedite the case's dismissal. Yes, now we're getting into J-Lo, the alleged second unknown celebrity that was also in the room with Jay-Z and Diddy during the supposed event. An article that just came out yesterday, December 19th from Media Takeout states that Jay-Z's lawyer is apparently linking J-Lo to that night, which I find super weird when you're trying to dismiss the event ever happening. Tony Busby, Diddy's lawyer, didn't include Jennifer Lopez at all in their statements. Jay-Z's lawyer is calling all these speculations a false extortion plot, but yet people can't understand why he's adding fuel to a fire that he is trying to put out. A snippet of Jay-Z's legal filing states, "A photo from the night in question show Mr. Combs and Mrs. Jennifer Lopez at both Lotus and Twirl clubs in New York." He never once said, however, that they were also together at the alleged house, but rather that they were still together that night. A video then began circulating of a press briefing that the lawyer did, where he also included Jennifer's name multiple times to try and showcase how the time of the event couldn't happen if Lopez needed to be on the road at 12:30 a.m. The VMAs apparently ended at 11:11 p.m. and then both Lopez and Diddy had to go to two commercial events right after for photos, and then make it back to the supposed White House Jane Doe mentioned where it all happened. Jennifer Lopez had been on the complete down low when the entire Diddy issue came to light, and now her PR team are stating she may need to now speak up about her experience experience that night since her name was mentioned. They are furious with it. Let's get into the supposed photos that were brought forward by Jane Doe that has gotten the internet trying to Sherlock Holmes this mess. The most infamous photo right now is the one where Jennifer Lopez in what appears to be a heated argument with Diddy in the Lotus nightclub. Now, it's again getting messy because at first people were thinking that the photo was taken after the Aless event happened, but in fact, this was hours before. Yes, it does prove that J-Lo and Diddy were together that night, but has no way of proving that she was the other woman in the room. That night, however, is not the only event that has Jennifer Lopez locked in with Diddy, because supposedly after the raid with Sean Combs' home, Ben Affleck was given supposed tapes that shows Jennifer Lopez's true connection to a nightclub event that happened all the way back in 1999. Jennifer and Diddy's relationship was a quick one during the early 2000s, specifically only lasting for roughly 3 years, but were still together when both of these crazy stories supposedly happened. Apparently at the nightclub, musician Moses Shine Barrow took the fall for Diddy during an intense scene that was going down, but J-Lo had lied saying that Barrow was the one who started the incident in the first place, and that inevitably ruined his career by sending him to prison. Affleck even makes the comment, they go raid Puffy's house and they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. This, along with a former CEO of Death Records stating, I'm quite sure they, the FBI, probably called. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things about your wife. Have people really speculating that the actual truth about that night is on these tapes. I wouldn't be surprised, since a former photographer of Diddy, Selma Fonseca, had supposedly had her camera taken one time while she was trying to snap some photos at a white party. He probably would have done the same for this too, trying to keep any information hidden from the public. The former CEO claims he is not surprised that Ben Affleck wants out of this ASAP after this. It's been no shock that Jennifer has been really stirring the pot when it came to her own publicity over the past year. From spitting her gum into an assistant's hand to getting an employee at a hotel fired for a simple autograph. From what we know about Ben, his slate has been cleaner than hers. At least that's what the former CEO says. He ain't tripping off paparazzi, he's living his life. He's got his own team. She done brought all that extra stuff out, and now that man, he want out. Everyone seems to be believing that because of these videos, their relationships were put on the rocks again, and Lopez's silence really isn't helping our case. However, during the American Thanksgiving, Lopez had made a wholesome tweet of her holding a turkey and saying, I hope everyone had a beautiful and happy Thanksgiving. I'm so incredibly grateful for all of you. One specific user brought up the tapes events again, and it went viral. The tweet is still up as of today, and the user, Molly Set, wrote as follows. Remember when you handed Diddy that item out of your purse and then proceeded to hurt an innocent woman? Remember how you fled the scene and lied to the authorities and public for 20+ years about that night? Do you think about that woman on these holidays? Or when you manicure your perfect face while she has remnants of that night on hers? I didn't even know about this part, and obviously having to say it's all still alleged, but that's insane. So what exactly happened that night? I obviously had to censor majority of the message, but definitely go check it out. This is an intense end of the year for J-Lo, from her relationship with Ben Affleck falling apart to her having past events be thrusted back into the future at full force. What are y'all's thoughts on these crazy, unclear stories that are being shown to us right now? Be sure to like this video as well, and I will see you all in the next one if there are any updates. See you next time, starlets.